Okay, hello everyone. I guess I am the last one, but hopefully not the least. And I came from Finnish Lapland to tell you a little bit this green transition and how we see it as a local people in Lapland. So kind of tell you about the other side of the green transition in Lapland. And I want to be clear that I don't mean that we wouldn't need green transition at all, but I want to make sure that we all know what it also means for the local people and for the Arctic. Actually, I would like to start and ask how many of you have visited Finnish Lapland? Okay, quite many. Great. But okay, let's go for the brief background. So basically, I'm a politician and an environmental activist in Finland, and I started my career when I was 15 years old. So in summer, I turned 30, so now it's been half of my life when I've been an environmental activist. So sacrificed my life for environmental issues. But okay, let's go for today's topic. So nature versus green transition and some of these examples from Finnish Lapland. So unfortunately, this green transition has been meaning quite big and massive pressure for exploitation of natural resources in Lapland. And there are at the moment going on quite many planned new large-scale industrial projects. And those projects are, for example, new railroads, new roads, new energy projects, including water power and water pump plants, also windmill parks, solar power parks. And then it has been seen in intensifying forest cuttings, partly because of a new massive so-called bioproduct factory, or also known as old-style cellulose factory in Kemi in Lapland. And also this has meant for us quite many mines and also exploration in Lapland. So there is a little bit like a dark side in this green transition that we locals see there. And here's a picture of Lapland and our forests, and I'm next going to tell you a few words about forestry and the causes in Lapland of that. So these colors are signs of the green is cultivated young forests, and the blue one is intact and old forests, and the orange one there on the upside is a tundra area. And almost all of the remaining and old and intact forests of whole Finland are located in Lapland, but still the area is shrinking due to the strong pressure by forest industry and so-called bioproduct factories. And also these energy companies are aiming to these old forests, and the worst case is that the energy companies are even burning the old forests as a bioenergy and for heating the cities. And next I am going to jump in one case study which is located in the east part of Lapland, close to the Russian border. And the picture here on the left side, I am there 1 year ago in my happy place in one old forest, giving a hug for a tree that is 300 or 400, even 400 years old. And unfortunately, as I told, this picture is just 1 year old. And this summer, we read the news from the Finnish broadcasting company, and they told that exactly the same forest was burned by an energy company to heat the city of Rovaniemi in Lapland. So these 300 and even 400 years old forests have been burned to the energy company so that they can heat the cities in Lapland. But if you might imagine that that would be the worst case, so actually that is not even the worst case, because also in the exact same area are other plans as well. So there are plans that another company is planning to build a windmill park there in that same area where are these old forests. And not only just a few windmills, but altogether 200 wind turbines planned to this area. So basically this is now what is happening to the old forests in Finnish Lapland. And another topic is mining in Lapland and all the mining activities that are happening there at the moment. So we have now 3 operational large-scale mines there in Lapland and 6 new mines planned for near future subject to mining and environmental permits. And these are also planned to be even in conservation areas. And adding to those, we have also many more exploration phase projects, and they are also planned in the conservation areas. And altogether, 80% of exploration in whole Finland is now taking place in Lapland. So you can imagine that it is a huge pressure for Lapland and the Arctic nature there. And then I want to show you a specific place there in Lapland. There is a place called Viiankiaapa. It is right next to my home village, which is Kersilö, and it's in the middle of Lapland. And this Viiankiaapa area is twice protected area, so it's protected by the wetland conservation and like a national wetland conservation law in Finland, and also by the Natura 2000 program under the European Union. So it's twice protected area in Finnish Lapland. But even though it is twice protected, there is now a mining company aiming to build a mine in the Viiankiaapa area, and actually that is a precedent in Finland. So the first case in Finland where the mining company is trying to build a mine in the double protected nature conservation area. And according to Finnish Wetland Conservation Act, mine at or under Viiankiaapa conservation area would be illegal. So what the mining company is trying to do, they are trying to and aiming to changing the Finnish laws. And the mining company is called Anglo-American PLC. And also, according to Nature Conservation Act, establishing a mine to Natura 2000 area would be illegal without Natura exception, since the project may damage protected nature values. So what the mining company is trying to do, multinational enterprise aims in weakening the Natura program. So both actions would be precedents in Finland. And this means that even the legislation is not going to stop these big industrial companies. And why this is important and actually a hot topic in Finland, the reason is that this would be the first time in Finland when the mining company could do this. And it will mean that they would lead the way also for another companies as well. So if the mining company can do this, that would mean that also the forestry companies can do it, energy companies, railroad companies, etc. So that's why this first case is so important to win, because otherwise it means that the whole conservation network would be in danger. And that's why I somehow, as a people or an human from Lapland, I feel that green transition is kind of turning against itself, because all this old industry is using it for doing just the same thing that they have been doing in Lapland many years before. So this green transition at the moment seems to accelerate biodiversity loss. It also may accelerate climate change when these companies are cutting the old forests. It only seems to boost economy and consumption, even if we at the moment should just like try to save our natural resources, not just use them. And it seems that Lapland's nature is sold cheap to heavy industry in the name of the green transition, and of course that shouldn't be so. And it also threatens the livelihood and culture of locals, including indigenous Sami people. And it also seems to weaken the nature conservation legislation. So there are very many big issues at the moment that we should take care of when we are doing this green transition. But I think we also should do something at the moment. We shouldn't just take this all as it seems to be. So that's why I think that we should have more stricter regulation, and that's what we need. And definitely no fast lines for these companies who are now aiming to go to the conservation areas and to our threatened nature. And also, I think that we must solve the climate crisis, but not by the cost of biodiversity and the beautiful, unique nature that we have. So this is it. Thank you very much.